Sometimes it's just good to share your struggles with others. For me, it always makes me feel a little better, as well as I want to update you. We've been trying to build a range for quite some time. As a matter of fact, really longer than we've announced. We've just ran into so many struggles just trying to pull this off that it seems to not have an end. Now, this all started about 8 years ago. We bought this land that we planned on doing this on about 8 years ago, around, just shortly before we started this channel. Actually, no, now that I think about it, it was the exact summer that we started this channel. And as we were going to the land was separated from the road. In Missouri, you can't landlock a piece of land. It's against the law. But so there was an easement that went through there, and it was a recorded easement from like 1954. And then there's a lady across the street from us who lives in a house, and she owns that land we have to cross through. So right when we bought it, went to introduce myself, and she made it very clear that that was not our easement and to stay off that property. She told the real estate agent she may have to go get her gun. And then she put a giant pile of tires and dirt to block it. So at that point, we went to the sheriff because we thought, well, you can't just block our driveway like that. He went out and talked to her, and then he reached back out to me and told me essentially, well, I'm not an assessor. You're just probably going to have to take this one to court. Now, in all fairness, he is in the same building as the assessor, so it would have been nice if maybe he would have walked, just about 30 steps to the left, and he could have spoken to the assessor and gotten that straightened out. But it put me on a clear path of litigation. And as I called to talk to attorneys down there, ultimately what I was told was $10,000 to $25,000 to prove it's your easement, but you'll win. Well, at the time I was a teacher, I don't have that kind of money. I don't got an extra $10,000, $25,000 to spend to fight for a driveway. So ultimately, I went back to the title company, who reminded me I had title insurance, and then the title insurance company ended up hiring an attorney. Great, now I'm not spending anything, and we get this fight going. After 3 years of just waiting to hear what exactly is going on with this land, ultimately, the two attorneys, her attorney and our attorney, got together and decided that we shall buy the land from her, that the title company will pay for it, that it was actually cheaper to buy the land from her and just give it to me than it would be to go all the way to full litigation. So that's great. Hey, free land, I'm in on that. Now our land goes all the way to the the road. This is perfect. Suddenly, as we're trying to get all that wrapped up, it is shown that she has a reverse mortgage on her house, so it took about 2 years to get them to release that land from her mortgage, because again, she's across the street, so she just released the land on our side of the street is all she did. So now about 5 years into it, maybe 6 at this point, and finally we're able to kind of do some stuff. So this last year we decided, hey, let's, we don't necessarily have the money to build a range, because this is a 3-hour drive from my house as well. So it's not just about building a range, it's also about building something small we can stay in, because it's hard to drive 3 hours, film some shooting, and then drive home 3 hours. And I've been doing that for a long time, so it's not a big deal. But the reality is if I could stay the night there, I'd obviously get a lot more done. There'd be better quality video, as well as it would be nice to have a full-blown range. I wanted to build a handgun range and a long-distance rifle range as well. So, went to the bank, said, hey, what do you think about this idea of helping us build a range? They love the idea, and then they go to close it, and it turns out the woman across the street in 2020 took out a second mortgage on her house. She seems to mortgage her house a lot. I don't know how you do that. She took out a second mortgage on the house, but the land that she sold us 3 years earlier was part of that mortgage. Then that mortgage had actually been sold to another company. So she essentially mortgaged off my land is what she did. So she did by accident, for the record. It was really the title, or the people who closed the title company, they should have caught that. So we had to track down one mortgage company, then the next mortgage company. They finally, I think it was 2 weeks ago, released that. And I think we're close. We're waiting for some other things to clear, and that's where we are. 8 years in the making. It's funny because a friend of mine built a range, and And I remember talking to him 4 years later, how's it going? Oh, we're still trying to deal with all these struggles. So that's kind of where we're at on it. It's been, you know, about 7, 8, maybe 7 years. I think I said 8, but it's probably been more like 7 years that all this has started. And we've just been, you know, we fought over our easement, then we've tried to figure out how can we get this land switched over. Then we had to track down mortgage companies and who owns this now. It's just been a hot mess, but I think we're almost there, so bear with us. I think it's gonna be really cool. I think it's gonna transform the show and really make it into something that it's never been able to be. More ballistic tests, more accuracy tests, that kind of thing. So I just want to keep you updated as well, because I think it was about 3 months ago we said, hey, we're building a range. Man, here we are, just still waiting. So love to hear your thoughts on it. Put in the comments below. Love your prayers on it too, by the way. It seems to be this never-ending thing. Love to see it finally come to an abrupt end. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. If you feel called to support our channel through Patreon, that link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, so never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.